There are multiple MDs and SMEs in this organization that knew me many years before I joined the business, who met me on a monthly, weekly basis, but never approached me with this business. I came to this business, as Kevin mentioned, by accident. I actually happened to I found a blue book lying on a coffee table. That's what I found. I saw that, I said, I want to read this thing. I just started reading it. And lo and behold, I said, okay, this is something that makes sense. And the only name I found in the book was World System Builder. So my wife, who happened to have found or been given this book, she didn't want to join the business, but she left the book on the coffee table. That's how I found it. So I asked her, where did you find this? What is this called? And she says, you go down this highway, you'll find a Target, and behind the Target there are some streets, and in there's an office, and you got to go there on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, I don't have an address. I Googled, I said, World System Builder near me, and I got nothing. So I drove to that Target and drove street by street behind the Target to find the office, and I walked into the mausoleum. Talked to the sister, saw her there, and said, where do I sign up? Why did I do that? Simple. I saw, when I read this book, I said, this is a blueprint to make a millionaire next door, and we can replicate millionaires next door. That was the message I got from the book, and I took it to heart, and I said, I need to be part of this campaign. I did not know what products we sold. I did not know what the compensation model was. I didn't even know that there is money to be made in this. I just wanted to be part of something big, a mission, a vision. I saw the mission, I saw the vision, and I wanted to make this happen. Once I did that, I started recruiting by myself. I didn't even ask for a trainer. I started recruiting 25 people in the first 90 days. I started growing the organization. I had 8 licenses as an associate under me. And then, unfortunately, life happened and I injured my back. And I was bedridden for a couple of years. Could not work, could not build a business. So my background, for 30 years, I've been an entrepreneur. I have helped turn around 8 companies in the software industry that were failing and position them for a sale. I knew how to read the books for the company. I knew how to look at the operations of the company, and I developed a stance in the company, a recognition in the industry that I was able to turn around and place companies for acquisitions. And I did this. I did 7 acquisitions that I positioned in my career. But when I injured myself and I had to come back into the business, I had 3 choices. Very simple. I wanted to know if I should even stay in the business because everybody in my team quit when I was injured. I had 0 members on the team. So the first choice I had was forget about the business, right? The second choice I had was become part-time and maintain a very high 7-figure income. I was making, my compensation levels were close to $750,000 a year. So with that kind of income, I could have said, let me go and find a job and then do this business part-time. That was my second choice. And my third choice was to go full-time into this business. But what I did as an associate with no team, no income, I decided to go full-time. I'm one of the first ones in the office in the morning, and I'm one of the last ones to leave every single day of the week. I started to build this business because I believe that this is a way for me to leave a legacy for my family. It's very simple. I was in the business of turning around companies. When I turned around a company and we got acquired as a C-level executive, I was shown the door because the acquiring company already has a C-level team. They don't need another C-level person on their team. They don't want that expense. So I was an expense and I was dispensable. Even though I did my job well and got the company acquired, I would lose the job. There was nothing that I could rely on. Therefore, I decided that I had to do something to build a legacy. Yes, I made a lot of money in corporate. Yes, our corporate life has been kind to me that I moved all the way to the top of the organization in multiple multinational organizations, including Pearson VUE, where all of you took the licensing exam. I ran the technology group for the entire globe. So when people ask me, why is it that you wanted to do this full time? The only answer I have is, here's the only way to build a legacy. And I'll tell you one other thing. G21, at the end of G21, Kevin had called the Bishop meeting after the convention. And I happened to walk into the room first before anyone else was there. On that day, I wrote on the whiteboard, "Coach will know my name by G22. That was my goal. And that dream has come true. Therefore, today I declare that in my base shop, I will have $10 million earners, and I will be an SEVC by G23. That's my declaration. Awesome. I hope you guys are excited after that story. Guess what? I got one more story to give you. Complete different, actually, on two spectrums, to be honest with you. This gentleman, Jay Narayan, coming from Nepal, right? He was actually in this industry for the past 20 years. And the beautiful thing about this is that as he came here, he was praying to come and get something like this. As soon as he landed in a lottery, actually a lottery from Nepal, within 1 week, this campaigner, Mr. Mir, he's here in the audience, actually invited him to our presentation, and he jumped on, right? You know, as time goes, one of the things is his English, right? So I'd like for him to share a few words.
Okay. This one, you can translate. Yeah, he get a lottery to be able to allow in the US. You probably don't know, but the US give lottery to some countries, sometimes few slots come to this country. And this guy win the lottery to come to the US.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, WSP. I am so proud here because I'm like 3 years ago. So I pray God for my country. I'll go America. So can I found insurance industry? So I pray for God, but I just came after 4 months. So I got this in the WSP industry. So I'm very happy, and I failed one time exam, and then after second time I will pass. And now last night I did MD. He completed his MD in 3 weeks. I made both New York 15 days ago, and I got more energy. Then 15 days I running 15 days, and all I will call like 150 people. But last night I got 23 2:30 this morning. This morning, 2:30. And given her and I give us a help. The police is done and 2:30 and I have done 40,000 and member, 10 members. So, but I was there, my country of Nepal. So I worked like many years, but I came here. So my English is not good, but I'm trying to English every single day. Very nice country here.
Okay. He come from Nepal and he sell life insurance 20 years ago.
For the last 20 years.
Huh?
Been doing it for the last 20 years.
Yeah, 20 years. The last 20 years, and he lived in our town.
Yes.
And every day he'd ride a bicycle. How many kilometers?
Every day, 40 kilometers, 50 kilometers, 90 kilometers, go and 20 kilometers, come back.
So how many hours you drive on a bike?
No matter how many hours, 3 hours, there is 6 o'clock, and like 20 minutes, 20 hours, 25 minutes, and meet somebody. Sometimes meet somebody, sometimes you have your house. That time you have mobile, you have the bicycle, no motorcycle, only have to cycle. So at the day, but don't meet somebody by meet other people and come back.
So you go to town, you go to places, and you tell the story that you bike and prospect people. You go to the tea house. Because Indian, definitely they drink coffee. They drink like Saba.
So yeah, so he goes to the tea stall every morning at 6 a.m. And there's like a lot of people who drink tea there. So about 50 to 100 people on a daily basis come to drink tea. So he sits there, that's his place to prospect. So people come and he starts talking, and then they'll tell him, why don't you come to our home sometimes? And he gets the address. But there's no phone, by the way. He has no phone, no car. He takes the bicycle and he just shows up. Goes 20 kilometers one way. And a lot of times they're not home, wife's not home. But you know what? Coming back, he doesn't just stop coming back. He tries to meet other people on the way. And like that, even when it comes to gathering premiums. So in Nepal, you have to actually collect premium, cash, and every month as the client pays, you go to the company, you deposit it, and then you take it back with a receipt. So he's doing this 3 times just to deliver a receipt. And every month he has to go back.
Go back to collect the premium.
Collect the premium.
Because they don't do checking account, so the monthly payment is collected by him on the bicycle.
Right. On a bicycle. Money and put bank, go to insurance company, put money and take receipt and go again customer, give receipt and pick somebody and after every month yeah. Sure. So every month he has to go back and give a receipt. And like that, he had over 900 clients in Nepal. 900 clients. I did 900 policies and 300 member. That's 20 years. Yeah. So 20 years, he had about 300 members under him.
So to make a long story short, that's all he did all his life. And when he hit lottery here, he come here, he have no job. So he's working as a gas station.
Yes.
So when we met there, he looked over this one. And when we was in Atlanta a few 3 weeks ago, he said that if he can make $2,000 here in this business, he'll quit his job.
Yeah, I'm going to next month. I put job. I made this up for I already have done MD and I will try next 60 days.
Thank you. Yeah. All right, guys. You see here one corporate man make almost $1 million $750 and quit the job to do this one. And the other hand, this guy just tried to make 2,000 with this one. What a contrast. I mean, I love this business for everything we have, and we are right now is for Vichy, the corporate man, so is Jay. I mean, the new explosion is coming. We can see incredible things happen for everyone about you. So, all right, thank you guys.
Are you guys fired up? You guys are excited about what you're about to do.
No, just me.
Okay, hey guys. The meeting's not over, guys. We're gonna stay disciplined until the very end. It's not over. Okay, guys, back in 2007, one of my first inventions. Computing was unveiled at the first time. And before this, becoming a social was extremely difficult. It was not unheard of to become a social in 3 months or longer. So when Coach brought out 3330 in his first form back in 2007, that was a game changer. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the game has changed again. The game has changed again. How many times in the next 16 days or less will become marketing director? Woo! Hey, are you guys ready to see the result of the financial foundation exercise? Okay, right now, it's not coming on the screen. Okay. So, as you can see here, proper protection, right? What does survey say? 7.19 billion. All the people that answered the survey, the entire building got $7.19 billion of protection. All right, what about the debt management? Survey says 31.2 billion of debt paid off. Take that, Visa. Take that, MasterCard. Right? What about emergency fund? What do we have? Survey says $46 billion of emergency fund. You think we have to worry if something happens? When you have this much emergency fund, okay, what about investments? $663 million, about over half a billion dollars in investment. Give yourself a hand. Okay, guys, you know what? All the people that left, that's their life, that's what they chose, but you have chosen to stay to the very end. Right? You are the disciplined few. Are you ready to end strong? Okay, good. It's my pleasure to bring up the closing speakers for tonight. And I just want to introduce them. You know, I really admire them greatly. And I want to make sure that I give them a proper introduction. So this couple both came from a physical therapist by background. They have 2 young children. They started AWG in 2014. By 2014, that's just talking about 8 years ago. So they quit their job after 6 months of being in business. And they became SMB in 1 year. And they worked relentlessly to become an EVC team and a millionaire by their 8th year. But you know what? With what Coach talked about, I think many of us are going to be able to catch up to that. All right? They have a burning desire to change their life from being so much in debt to becoming financially free. And today they have about 500 people in attendance. Okay? I think they call themselves the Star Team. Is the Star Team here? All right. Welcome. Marisol and Jen Boyena.
Good afternoon. Good morning. Remember Yasmin? My name is Marissa and this is my husband Tim. We started in the business 2014. And we were both physical therapists. And I thought this is it. This is our life. I thought, we already have this American dream. But then, years later, I saw myself like just working so hard and yet nothing is happening. And I also saw my patients, imagine they're engineers, doctors, nurses, and they end up in nursing homes, struggling financially. And I told myself, oh my goodness, this is what's gonna happen. One thing in common, they don't know anything about money, they don't know anything about taxes, they just work for 40 years and retire in nursing home. So when my coworker approached me and asked me if I want to learn finance, right away I said yes. If somebody needs to help us and mentor us, and that's when we met Ling and Mark. So Ling and Mark is the one that design our financial foundation, but there's nothing really to design. So imagine they're financially set at the age of 32 years old. Living their life, and I was telling myself, what can I do? I have 2 young kids at that time. They were only like 1 year old. I'm still breastfeeding, and the other one is 3 years old. And I have my parents living with me, and I'm the oldest of 4 siblings. So it was really tough. And then one thing they told me, their advice is to attend a big event, just like this. So that was our first big event. At that time, it was only just me, my husband, and my sister. We were sitting all the way at the top. We can almost touch the ceiling, right? And you know what? When we saw a lot of people being awarded on that night in the awarding, I was telling myself, oh my God, we saw ourselves in them. Like, you know what? We can also do the same. And my husband told me, next year we're going to go on that stage too. We're going to be awarded. I told him, oh, we have no team. And look, my sister's sleeping, beside me. And then he told me, just believe. And guess what? The following year, we worked as an SME. Win 100%.
So the question is, how did we do it? My wife and I, were asked, how did we become SMT? How did we become EBC? Well, most of us struggle. And my wife, at one point in time, had an argument. And she said, go back to work. Okay, go back to work because we're not earning money here. And I said, okay.
I started at age 24 as a physical therapist. I told her that. And I worked and worked and worked. And fast forward, I don't have any financial freedom. So that's my goal. I said, if this opportunity really given for us in WFG, why don't we give it a try? Why don't we take action? Why don't we do it 5 years, relentless, building, developing ourselves? So I said, okay, I'm gonna go back to work. Okay, I see 10 patients a day for 20 days in a month, times 12 months. I'm gonna see 24,000 a year, times 20 years I've been working. So 48,000 patients I've seen already in 20 years. And I get paid $50 an hour. So my income in 20 years is 2.4 million as a physical therapist. How many of you will argue with me on that one? If you're a physical therapist. So plus tax, plus pain and stress, I asked her, is that worth it? And I'm gonna come home and I'm gonna bring all the stress that I have at work and at nursing home. And I think you're ready for that. Are you ready for that, my wife, baby? And she said, okay, let's do this. Why don't we do this? Why don't we, WMG came to us, I'm 44 years old back then. I said, why don't we see 10 clients same day for 20 days, times 12 months, so that's 2,400 a year, times 20, so that's 48,000, times 1,000 minimum, we're gonna get 48 million. So, which one would you like? I said, let's build S&P, CEO, EBC, that will have an exponential unlimited income. So we made a decision. But we gotta go to a meeting. And meeting mentality is one of Coach, what do you call that? In the fast start mentality, right? Building mentality, recruiting mentality, and the meeting mentality. So I think most of us don't have that. So I tried to go, 2014, my wife and I went to a meeting and got invited to one of our business partners, and we went to the house, and then all of a sudden we're all going to the dungeon. Okay, and then they were talking over there. My gosh, this is a multi-trillion-dollar business. And I said, yeah, we're in the basement. My gosh, I'm bored with this financial concept. That's why I'm having a coffee right now. How many of you have coffee many times right now? How was that? I was so curious about this business. But the thing is, I said, I need to learn this. I need to learn because happy wife, happy life. Right? So 2015, we qualified internal contest. So this is our kids. Back then, they were young. And then I heard that there's a guy named Swan. And I read this book, Building People. We read it overnight. It's so simple, that building people. We read it overnight. He said, I finally got it. I want to make this right. Then we were sitting on the welcome dinner, and here comes one. I said, oh my God, this is the guy that I've been waiting for. But I don't know how to say it. I don't know what to top and say. This one, can you coach me? I was nobody back then. Right? So if you see, my wife is breastfeeding our youngest son. And that is him. And I said, I'm going to become a millionaire just sitting there, and I'm looking at, I don't have no eyes, but I'm just looking at him. But gosh, I want to That's you know. But I'm so afraid. Okay, how many of you are fearful of Arnold? I said, okay. Then we went out and I said, let's have some noodles. You know, Alex Chen was talking about that. I said, let's have some noodles, okay? And then we look for a noodle, and then here comes Swan and his family. You know, we were waiting there, we were eating, and we have our team members. These are our team members that qualified. We did not qualify, we were just there. Okay? And then we were hoping, you know, they say when you pray, be careful of, you know, if your prayer is answered. Because that night, we were hoping that we will be able to see Coach One. And then here comes the family. You know, you see, this is Justin. This is Andrew with the hair still, you know. Alicia, Juan, and Swan. And they sat down at our table, and I was like, oh my God, the coach is here. The coach is in our house. The coach is in our table. So I did not talk. And guess what? This two couple, her, she was asking, they were asking her question after question after question. And then my wife and I look at each other and said, do you have any question? Because every time that they ask questions, what Coach Sam will say, what do you think? Every time they ask questions, Coach Swan will say, what do you think? I said, if I ask another question, he's gonna say, what do I think? Okay? So the message that I got from Coach is the message that he's been telling us is use common sense, use intelligence, recruit, build, lead, and become a builder. That's all I hear from him. So fast forward, we did.
Okay, from breakdown in order to break through. In our business, we have a lot of breakdown. And one of that is our car, our van. Because we use our van for the, you know, for 3 years, multiple location. 6 hours one way. And there was one time that it really broke down and there was no heater. In the middle of the night, it's winter, and we have our 2 young kids with us inside the van, with my dad as well and my mom. And I was thinking, oh, what do we do next? Right? We don't have money to repair the heater, so we have to have a thick blanket while there was sleeping and cover them up. And then while driving, we told ourselves, is this really worth it? And then I have to tell my dad, you know, Dad, we are late in the appointment. We don't have time to sleep in the hotel. We have to sleep in the rest area. And at the back of his mind, he was also wondering. So we sleep in the rest area and we take shower in the gas station. That's how bad our financial foundation is. And then there was also one time we didn't have a gas. We didn't have a gas. And then my husband, you know, tried several credit cards, decline. Oh my goodness, how can we go to the appointment? And this Speedway reward stayed on us. This is a free reward points that gave us a gas so we can able to go home from an appointment. And so we traveled again and traveled. We went to North Carolina, we went to California, we went to Texas, we went to Texas again, we went to, where's this?
Maryland.
So it was really like a life, we didn't have a life. You know, when everybody else is sleeping, we are awake. We turn days into nights and nights into days. That's why when they ask how did you build the business so fast? Because we crunch our time. Because we want to build the business fast, because at that time, my mom has a kidney failure and I have to have money for her transplant. And I have to save her life. And this is the business that can make it happen.
So the question is, my wife and I said, okay, we're gonna work. So I asked all our associates, if you can read this, which work week do you like? Okay, so Monday, come on, read after me. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's why the restaurant is winning, right? And then Saturday, and then, isn't it an exciting work week? Okay, so what if we change our mind? What if Monday, okay, can you read? Tuesday, Wednesday, go to Super Trip. Thursday, it's like now, it's almost full. Friday, and then Saturday, and then Sunday. Which work week would you like to learn how to do? WSB? The top one or the lower one? Okay. Efforts are the same, but you have the choice. It's all about mindset. It's about mindset. Skill set. The mindset is not there, skill set is not there. So, on that book by assistant builder, Coach One said, we gotta have a winning mindset. We gotta be clear and focused mindset. You want to become EBC, you want to become SBC, you want to become everything, whatever that you want to, Coach One said, all the name, are you clear and focused? And then also, what's your income? And the income receiving a charity. What's your charity on your mind? So my wife and I.
Yes, this is our mindset. We were in debt, right? So I have to help ourselves. So at that time, you have 80,000 pesos. I was able to, that debt inheritance and lower our debt. We need a loan consolidation. And because of that, we were able to help all our coworkers, right? So that is the first income we have, debt management. Until, they also want to save money. So our first year income is 92,000. And then the next year, I told my husband, I'm going to let go of physical therapy. You stay there. And guess what? 2 years, we already have 200,000 income. And then after 5 years, our income years, raise that now so we can give back our country. What did I do? Hey, have to double start having. I can fast start. Who can we create activity? So we give them every day. So I can go dip so we can pay them. So 10 dip is our protocol for a leader to appear, and then we can get licensed. So we focus on building trainers with a system that we have learned already, especially with WS family, right? And then simplicity, we were not simple back then. That's why all our 300 requests in our first 3 years, they're gone, right? So they click on us. So we need to know how to duplicate. And the importance of follow up. I remember when we have this, our first team that was with us, it was only eight of us in our first 3 years. Everybody quit, but these people didn't, right? So we focus on the fourth one, which is Sherwin and Janet. They were the one that's committed. And then the first three, they were not. You know, they were like in and out, on and off, right? But but because I focused on Sherwin, we were able to build the three of them to an SMT. So all of them SMT. So that's important to follow up. Next one, 2016, when we wanted to have an explosion, we met a person named Donna. So she's a food market. And then, you know what, we met in a conference. And then she asked, what do we do? And you know, we're so excited. And I told her, we're the financial industry. She's a physical therapist. And that started in 2017, the webinar. We didn't join that at that time. We found Rita. From Rita, we found Madel. From Madel, we found Bella and Mark. From Bella, we found Elani. And from them, we found Michelle. And because of that, 5 of them, you know, became our first Yandel deal that really become successful. Of all, everything, every location, they're the first one. And that is because why? Because these 5 girls in one bed, right? They go to Chicago every single month just to attend our elite circle. Even though they don't have money, they also have a lot of renters, but they manage to travel every single month from Seattle to Chicago. And that's why we were able to build them. Because of that, from Ghana, we have 22 SMD and 2 executive marketing directors. Is that an explosion? Yes. I have my cousin, Doc June. You know, when I called her 2014, she didn't want to listen to me, right? But then, 4 years later, she's ready. She called me and she said, you know, I'm ready to retire as a doctor. And then from her, we were able to have 10 senior marketing director and 1 executive marketing director. And then we have a neighbor, John. You know, these are neighbors. We don't want to do the business because he moved from Indiana to Texas, so there was no webinar at that time. You know, but you know, when webinar exists, you know, I told him, can you refer me 1 person? And that was Vicky. And Vicky at that time don't want webinar, she wants face-to-face. But before she was inactive, she referred me to Alex. Alex wanted to do the business. But she referred me to Giselle, and Giselle is the one. So because of Giselle, we were able to bring back Vicky, and then we have 4 Yes. Okay, next. So that's what you call multiple building, half routing. And also, you wouldn't go the backstage forward.
Next.
Okay, so we are obsessed with building people. We are obsessed. You see, every day we root and paint, top root. That's it. We are not here to stand and recruit and we're not. Time is important. We don't want to waste your energy traveling here and there, and there was no one deal. So we promise ourselves we're gonna do this. Building people is the key. Why is it we committed on day 1? Because of what happened to one of our associates. March 2014, he was a physical therapist and the wife is a nurse, and they told us they're okay, they have a paycheck, they don't want to do the business. And then one early morning, the wife called me and she told us that he was into an accident. And because of that accident, he's no longer able to work. He was no longer able to have income. And that accident led their family into a severe financial failure. Forward. So that's him. So can you imagine, right? We thought we're superhuman, we thought we got it great, but you know what? One accident, one turnaround can change our life. Medical bills piled up. So that's why, next slide please. Next slide, yes. This is the income right here for as an employee. As an employee, we have income, but there's a ceiling. You know what? But the moment we get sick, no income. The moment we get laid off, no income. It's like we have income, and the moment we retire, there's no more income. It's only temporary. But on the business side, on the business side, even though we don't have income right now, like
want to close this message regarding, in this business, you never know what's going to happen, right? So, this two couple or this two person got, they met at in WFG. PJ is the wife of Carlo Luna. And Carlo is already on life support. He's a dialysis patient. So they already told him that it will just be a matter of time. Just be a matter of time. So he's in life support. But even though he's in life support, kidney dialysis, he's still doing BPM, still building, recruiting, doing all the work, doing all the paperwork. But one day, they were talking, and then they found out that they match. Their blood type match. And it's a rare blood type. So one night, Bernadette called me and my wife. She said, I have a confession to make. I said, I thought she's gonna, it's like, on my back of my mind, I said, she's gonna quit WFG. I know it. So she said, are you gonna quit WFG? I said, no, it's more than that. I love WFG. But you know what? I have a decision to make. She said, I'm going to donate my kidney. And she said, I need your advice. I said, what should I do? Go for it? Think about it? I said, well, Bernadette, you are just an angel. I don't know if this is your decision, but you gotta make it. You gotta think about it, and you gotta pray for it. But she said, I'm going to donate my kidney. And everybody was scared, and everybody was, doubtful and negative, and calling her and saying, don't do it. But she made the decision. So sometimes, if it doesn't break you down, you're not going to have any breakthrough. In life, there's some strangers, there's some angel in this world that can make a difference. It's not just about money. It's more than that. So I really want to call Bernadette this day to really applaud her because they did not pay her any dime. But she did it because she loves WFG and she loves the community that we are in. So I really want to thank, Bernadette. And I know Carlos not here because he's recovering from the kidney transplant. So that's WFG is all about. So just want to leave this note on our last slide. Okay, so this is them going through all the process of transplant. Bernadette showed me her kidney. It was like it doesn't look like a kidney to me. It's like, oh my gosh, why are you showing this? So, at the end of the day, we're building family legacy. So I want to show this to you. My great grandma just turned 101 years old. And she just celebrated her 101 last July. That's what we were at. We were in the Philippines to celebrate her 101. So we became a Dalmatian. But look at this picture. She still take the booster. And she said, there's no pain. So longevity runs in our family. So I will see you when I'm 101. But the thing is, the family that we're building changed a lot of people's lives. Not just our own family, their family, and the rest of WFG community, and the rest of WSD community. So, last slide, guys. Okay. Skip this. Okay. Skip this. Never discourage anyone who continually make progress, no matter how slow.
Okay. You want to show your financial foundation. Okay, so the first one is proper protection. At that time, you only have 200,000 on term insurance, 130,000 credit card, so 80,000 family, and then 50,000 from WFC. Then zero emergency fund with we have a 401k. And then after joining the campaign, our proper protection is now 80 million. And then, no more that, we have more than 175,000 in our emergency fund and more than 950,000 on our investment. Thank you so much. So, right now, we have total 36 offices nationwide. And one of us is just for each one of them. So let's see who are gonna leave you with this. To be a
Great champion, you must believe you are the best. If you're not, pretend you are. And you guys.